Hello YouTube, Komi here, back with another Genshin Impact video. Today, as I promised in my previous one, we're going to talk about the Rune Serpent. I'll give you tips on the attacks, team building, and few specific tips to win some time during the fight. If you enjoy that type of content, feel free to follow me on Twitch and subscribe on YouTube. I will make more videos like this in the future. I also do Abyss on stream and on Discord, so if you want to watch me do it from time to time, this is the best place to do. And let's get into the video. So first, let's talk about the details about the Rune Serpent. The Rune Serpent is a machine enemy, just like the Rune Guard and Rune Hunter, or the PMA from the last Abyss. It is very resistant to physical damage, so you don't really want to bring physical DPS like Eula, Razor, or any other physical DPS that you might use. The boss has 2.2 million HP, so that's quite a lot of HP. It takes a little bit of time to take down, and it also has a very annoying pattern, just like the PMA from the last Abyss, where it has a lot of stalling attacks where it goes into the ground and you can't hit for a few seconds. So you have to keep that in mind to optimize your rotations and not waste your energy. So let's focus on the attack of the boss. The boss has 4 different attacks. One of them is very specific, and I will give more tips about this one later in the video. So we'll focus on the first 3 ones that are very simple, but you need to know the pattern on these ones so it's easy to dodge and you can maximize your damage output during the attack. The first one is very simple to dodge. You just have to follow the rotation of the attack and DPS at the same time. This one is very nice because if this is the first attack of the fight, you will have a long window to output as much damage as possible. Also, make sure you remember that the boss will always spawn at the same spot on the map. So it's very easy to position yourself and prepare your bursts accordingly. If you have a Bennett burst, a Kazuha burst, a Yato burst like these that are on field, make sure you prepare them beforehand so you optimize your time. And you can also prepare your Xingqiu burst, Beidou, Yalan, the burst like this, so you don't waste time during the DPS window. The second attack possible after the boss spawn is going to be an attack where the boss will go underground and generate a black hole that will pull you in the middle and deal damage over time. The way to escape this attack is going to be to either spam your run or use a shield and not take damage. You can also use Jonglei Pillar and climb it to avoid taking damage. Finally, the third attack happens less often as the first attack, but sometimes it does. The boss will go underground and then spawn rapidly out of the ground to slam his head on the ground in a large AoE. So you have to dodge at the right time or be far from the boss to not take damage, because the AoE of this attack is very large. So be careful on this one. It deals a lot of damage as well. Now we're going to talk about that special attack I mentioned earlier. After you bring the boss down low enough in HP, or after a certain period of time, the boss will begin its special attack where it's going to take very, very low damage for a short period of time while spinning and charging its own attack. At the end of the attack, he's going to blast a lot of particles that deal a very high amount of damage. So to disable this attack and to cancel this attack, you have only one solution. The solution is to break the 4 cores that light up during the attack. As you can see, while the boss is spinning, 4 of its cores are lit up. You have to hit each of them one time with either a normal attack or a skill or a burst. And once the 4 of them are hit, it will bring the boss down to the ground and will give you some time to deal more damage. My recommendations for this specific attack is going to be to bring some AoE damage character like Raiden, Xingqiu, Ayato, Ito, those characters are very strong against that boss because they have pretty high attack speed and large AoE of effect. Xingqiu's skill especially can break 2 core at once if you time it perfectly, because otherwise with Ranger like Yoimiya or Ganyu, it's very hard to hit the cores accurately because the boss is spinning very fast. You can also bring some AoE burst like Yato's burst, Ganyu burst, or any burst that deal damage over time in a large area of effect. Now, what matters the most during this boss fight is going to be your timings. As I said earlier, for example, at the start of the fight, the boss will always spawn at the same spot on the map. So you want to prepare all your bursts in this area so you don't have to run around to chase the boss and waste some precious seconds every time you have to reposition yourself. The same applies for the rest of the fight. After that first spawn and the first 1 or 2 attacks, the boss will always go on the right side of the map. So this is where you can position yourself once again with your burst after you recharge them to not waste any seconds and prepare your DPS window. Also keep in mind that bursts that have a long animation should be casted before the boss goes out of the ground. So as soon as it is out of the ground, you can start DPS and not waste any seconds. Usually, if you didn't manage to kill the boss after the first special attack, you probably wasted too much time and it's probably too late. So you probably want to restart. Also, one last tip in terms of pattern. If the first attack of the boss is the gravity field, you probably want to restart the run, as this attack makes you waste around 10 seconds, which is very, very important during this run. So if it does this attack, you probably want to restart the run. Finally, let's get into the team recommendations. I mentioned few characters already before, but I will mention them again and give also other characters that can be very good against this boss. So let's begin with the DPS. For main DPS against this boss, you can bring Raiden as a Raiden national team. You can bring Yoimiya or Hu Tao that have really high DPS against single target. And that work very well right now with Yelan or Xingqiu. You can bring a full Geo team. It also works very well. And Ito is very good to cancel the special attack. You can bring an Ayato team or a Chao team as well. They have really high AoE damage. Even against single target, it's still very, very good. And you can easily take down the boss during its special attack. And finally, just bring your best DPS with very good supports. The first half of the chamber, if you have some pyro support, it should be pretty easy. So you can keep your main DPS and stronger characters for the second half to take down the Rune Serpent. I will put a list of characters on the screen and teams that can work very well that maybe I didn't mention yet. But you have basically a lot of options, and just add 1 or 2 characters that are very helpful against the special attack or in general. All right, I hope this video was helpful. Let me know if you have any more questions in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. I really appreciate. You can also join my Discord if you have any more questions about the Abyss or if you need any help with Genshin. I'm excited for the Abyss in 3.0. I think it's going to be fun with the new Dendro characters and probably new enemies. I'm very looking forward to it. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Take care of yourselves. And I'll see you on the next video. Bye-bye.